WNEM TV5 News starts right now with a breaking news alert.
And that breaking news, Congressman Dave Camp from Midland will not be seeking re-election. The Ways and Means chairman says he's retiring after spending 12 terms in the House.
Today he released this statement, quote, "Serving in Congress is the great honor of my professional life. I'm deeply grateful to the people of the 4th Congressional District for placing their trust in me."
Camp is the second senior Michigan Republican in recent days to announce his retirement. Congressman Mike Rogers announced that he will not run again last week. Camp's seat is expected to stay with the GOP this fall.
And you leave over 30 voicemails and they completely ignore you, that's really, really frustrating.
Imagine going to work for several months but not getting paid for the job. A local painter says he's getting the stiff arm from a nationally known company after remodeling a local apartment complex. And now the painting company finds itself in the hole thousands of dollars. What's taking so long for that check to show up? Tonight we ask the tough questions. Our Gino Vici live in Saginaw Township with that story all new at 6. Gino.
Sam, a Midland couple owns that business. They tell me they did work here at the Castaway Apartments in Saginaw Township for more than a year. But back in November, they decided enough was enough. That's because the company that owns Castaway stopped paying them. And now, no calls, no response, and no money.
This is all unpaid work.
Gail Sequin and her husband Steve operate a small paint company called SOS. Gail, a disabled veteran, helps her husband with paperwork at home while he's out painting commercial properties, just like today. The couple has a long-standing relationship with Castaway Apartments, and until recently it was going well.
They had no problem paying in the very beginning.
But now the Sequins say Castaway owes them more than $5,000.
And it's ridiculous when somebody owes you that amount of money. That's nothing to sneeze about.
And they say they've got the unpaid invoices to prove it. Take a look. According to this paperwork, the last time SOS Painting received a payment was back in November.
I called in over 30 times, left voicemails, and didn't get one call back.
And they say the last time anyone returned their calls was also back in November. Gail says they've only received this email response indicating that Castaway Apartments was in trouble financially.
Unfortunately, the property is in a cash-tight position at the moment, so it's unlikely we will be able to make payment in full.
Castaway is owned by Woodlark Companies based in Miami, but we still decided to pay a visit to the complex here in Saginaw Township. It turns out a representative from the corporate office was in town, but she refused to answer any questions about why SOS hasn't been paid.
Sorry.
I also asked if the company was struggling financially as stated in this email. Again, no response. As for Gail and her family's now struggling business, she says she wants Castaway Apartments to stop making excuses and pay up.
I'd say it's about time they got off their lazy butts and paid the contractors.
Back out here live, again, the Sequins say at one time they did have a solid working relationship with Castaway, but they say they were able to place a contractor's lien on the property and they still want to pursue further legal action against the company until they get paid. We're live in Saginaw Township. Gino Vici, WNEM TV5, back to you.
All right, Gino, thanks. And if you have a tough question you'd like us to investigate, the number to call is 989-758-2044. You can always drop an email to WNEM@WNEM.com or get a hold of us on Facebook.
Finally, it is beginning to feel like spring. You're taking a live look over Bay City where it's not a dream. Temperatures are near the 60s, but you know the saying, all good things must come to an end. Chief Meteorologist Doug Moats has a look at your forecast.
You had to come with me with that, huh?
Sorry.
I had to be the delivery person, huh? The bad news. Yeah, clouds are actually increasing, and that's one of the reasons that our forecast is going to change from the beautiful conditions that we had today. We're tracking a cold front that's going to bring cooler air and a chance for rain to the area overnight tonight, an upper level low, and that cold front expected to swing through mid-Michigan. We're already down from where we were at 5 o'clock, 59 in Saginaw, Flint at 57. We're at 59 in Bay City and in Midland. Throughout the evening hours, we'll fall into the upper 30s. Winds are going to pick up. The rain will develop over midnight tonight. Not a lot of rain, but we will see rain stick around into tomorrow. Winds, as I said, a big issue for us tomorrow, and then that cooling trend. I'll let you know how much cooler we're going to be for the rest of the week coming up.
That somebody was coming. You're not top priority in this area. That's what we were told.
A local woman speaking out in frustration tonight after she says several calls and complaints to the Flint Water Department went unanswered. Rose Eccles says a water leak that started months ago has now caused a sinkhole opening up on her street, and she says it keeps getting worse. She lives on Burgess between West Myrtle and Sunny Avenues in Flint, And Ms. Eccles says she even went down to the water department with video of 2 cars that got stuck in that hole. But the problem has yet to be fixed.
They sent somebody out. They stuck this barrier out here and left it like that. The water flowed to where across the street was gone. It ran all the way down to Fleming Road. 2 cars going the opposite way, both fell down in the hole and had to get a tow truck to get them out, and police and everything were out. And this situation is getting worse and worse.
Eccles says the water department told her that the area was simply not a top priority. We placed a call to the city. We were told that they would look into it and get back to us.
Continuing coverage on a local school district facing a multi-million-dollar debt. As we previously reported, the Bridgeport-Spalding School District has until April 14th to present its deficit elimination plan to the state. And tonight, we're learning more about that plan. TV5's Kristen Moore joins us live with those details. Kristen, what can you tell us?
School board members just wrapped up their meeting here at Bridgeport High School, but they'll be back at it again next week. And they've got some tough decisions to make, with the district facing a deficit of more than $2 million going into next school year. District leaders have just 2 weeks to submit a deficit elimination plan to the state. Declining enrollment has led to a decrease in funding for Bridgeport-Spalding schools for years now. Superintendent Gloria Rubis says the state wants to see commitment from the entire district. Administrators, unions, and contract workers willing to sacrifice more than they already have to close the budget gap and save the district.
This year, our deficit elimination also included our tentative agreements with our bargaining units, because those were all expired as of the end of the year. So the Michigan Department of Ed has asked us to make sure that our bargaining units are also committed to eliminating the deficit elimination plan with concessions.
Now, a tentative agreement was reached last week, but the terms of that agreement have not been made public just yet. The superintendent says the teachers won't even know the details until next week, so the terms should be released sometime after that. Reporting live in Bridgeport, Kristen Moore, WNEM TV5.
Thank you, Kristen. Now, if a plan isn't submitted by April 14th, the district's school aid payment for this month could be in jeopardy. We will keep you posted. A local family is pleading for help to solve the murder of a college student. 20-year-old Ashton Hull was shot several times at a home on Marengo in Flint.
Police say he and the gunman got into an altercation in the front yard of that home last August. Well, today, Hull's family, including his 10-month-old son Jaden, teamed up with the Crime Stoppers with the hope of bringing that family some justice.
They have no idea what they have taken away from this family, what they have taken away from that little boy right there. They have no idea.
Crime Stoppers is offering a $2,500 reward for information that helps lead to an arrest.
Now, if you know anything, please call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. All calls are anonymous.
2 suspects remain on the loose tonight after a shooting and carjacking. It happened early Saturday morning on Ortman near Douglas in Saginaw. That is where a 39-year-old man told police he was sitting in his truck in his own driveway when 3 men started shooting at him. The victim dodged the bullets but got out of his truck and took off running. Police say the men took off in the truck. They caught one of them in that vehicle. The other 2 are still at large.
Authorities are investigating a crash that left a 21-year-old dead. It happened on River Road in Gladwin County's Buckeye Township. Investigators say a 20-year-old man from Beaverton was driving when he lost control and the vehicle flipped over in a ditch. His 21-year-old passenger, Zerold Walters, was killed. The driver was taken to the hospital. There's no word yet on what caused the accident.
All right, good day to be a Tiger fan. Opening day, they took the game today from the Kansas City Royals, beating them 4-3 in the bottom of the 9th.
Go Tigers. But of course, the game isn't the only exciting part of opening day. TV5's Elena Holland caught up with some tailgaters before the game.
Well, we're here in Detroit outside of Comerica Park, where the festivities have begun early with some tailgating, and we found one of the best setups in the parking lot here this morning. How are you guys doing today?
Real good. How are you?
Great. So why don't you tell me what you've got set up here?
Well, we got a heater to stay warm. It was a little chilly this morning. We've got our high-def TV with a satellite dish. Got a keg of beer. We got a radio to play some music. We haven't brought out the food yet. Got some beverages, of course. So, yeah, we're just ready to have a good time, and hopefully we get some sun and have a good time in the D.
Ooh. So what would you say is the most essential thing that you need for a perfect tailgate?
Good food, tasty drinks, nice weather would be nice too, but the atmosphere is great. That's the reason why we do this.
All right, we found some more super fans out here in the tailgate area. This is Tim, and he has got quite the setup of hot dogs. How are you doing today, Tim?
Good, how are you?
Probably hungry right now, right?
Oh yeah.
So what is it like on opening day today?
Just all the great people and obviously I mean, look at it. There's people here, we're here at 5:30 in the morning and we're just hanging out, having a good time, you know?
Okay, explain a little bit this to me. You've got a giant TV behind you, but the game is right there. What is the logic behind that?
Well, you hear something over here in the stadium, you turn around and you see it on the TV.
Sounds like the best of both worlds, isn't it? All right, well, we're here in Detroit, here for opening day baseball season. I'm Lena Holland, WNEM TV5.
All right, stick around for highlights of today's game coming up a bit later in sports.
And police and residents are once again joining forces to fight one city's crime.
Coming up, how they say a simple flip of the switch can help save their city. And if you're looking to buy a new home, one city's making it easier for you to come up with a down payment. That's next.
You're watching WNEM TV5 News at 6, serving Burton, Birch Run, Caro, and your hometown too.
It's coverage you can count on.